Introducing Supersport Primetime, bringing you the very best sports movies and documentaries. Every weeknight from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
If there's anything left for me in tennis...
What's going on here?
We need your help!
I think he wants us to win the World Cup.
For those of you who may not know,
I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
What did he say?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Reorganize your time with Supersport Primetime on Supersport 1. Every weeknight from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to MITV Primetime News, coming to you live from our broadcast today here in Lagos. I am Kemi Omoshibi. First, we begin with our top stories. Adamawa records in the case of COVID-19. Sanwo-Olu unveils 70-bed isolation treatment center for COVID-19. On the foreign scene, Germany state make face mask compulsory. And on sports, Federal want ATP and WTA to merge. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved immediate payment of salaries owed some lecturers who are not enrolled in the Integrated Payroll and Personal Information System. Following the refusal to enroll in the IPPIS, some lecturers' salaries were withheld. However, President Buhari in Abuja on Tuesday asked that the arrears owed their lecturers be paid. President Buhari gave the approval order after a meeting with the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, yesterday in Abuja. This was confirmed on Wednesday by the chairman of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19, Mr. Boss Mustafa. Mr. Mustafa, who is also the secretary to the government of the Federation, noted that the approval is in line with measures to see that no one is left at a disadvantage during this trying time. Prior to the president's intervention, the federal government and the leadership of the Academic Staff Union of universities have been at each other's neck over the refusal of the university lecturers to join in the IPPIS payment platform. All persons diagnosed with COVID-19 will henceforth be treated in the state where the diagnosis was made, except where is a medical indication to the contrary, the federal government has declared. Minister of Health Dr. Osagi Ehanire stated this was to avoid the high risk of exposure of other persons in the course of transfer. He also said patent and proprietary medicine vendors and pharmacies have been prohibited from attempting to treat persons diagnosed as or suspected to be COVID-19 patients. It said that any PPMVs that attempts to treat persons diagnosed or suspected to have COVID-19 would have their operating licenses cancelled. Ehanire disclosed this at the daily briefing of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 updates in Abuja. The minister said that the decision was taken during an emergency National Council of Health meeting convened by the Federal Ministry of Health with state commissioners of health and the acting FCT Secretary for Health in attendance through teleconferencing. It said the meeting was to review status and align all response to COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Wednesday unveiled a new isolation and treatment center at the Landmark Convention Center, Etiosa local government area of the state. The facility with 80 beds and 10 intensive care units will be solid for COVID-19 treatment. Sanwo-Olu at the unveiling said the birth of the isolation and treatment center is another good example of public-private partnership between Lagos State government and the non-governmental organization Young Presidents Organization, Lagos State Chapter. Earlier before the unveiling of the facility, a memorandum of understanding was signed by representatives of YPO, Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government says residents will now have access to highly trained and experienced medical doctors for non-emergency and primary care consultation through voice or video call from the comfort of their homes. The service takes effect from Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. The announcement was made known by the General Manager, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emanuela Zamba, during the launch of the emergency line, which is called Eco Telemed. She noted that this is part of effort aimed at protecting the citizens and reducing their risk of contracting the coronavirus disease. Dr. Zamba therefore asked residents who develop any non-COVID-19 health issues during the lockdown period to dial 0800 HECOMED or 08000356633 toll-free line for consultation. Ekiti State government has announced the death of a COVID-19 pregnant patient who came to the state on April 10th for this year. The State Health Commissioner for and Human Services, Dr. Mojisola Yaya Kolade, confirmed this at a press conference in Ado-Ekiti. She stated further that the fourth positive case is a medical doctor, stating that they contacted it through the third case, the pregnant woman. Also speaking, a member of Ekiti State COVID-19 Task Force, Professor Bolaji Aluko, spoke on the level of security and compliance if resident to the lockdown in the state.
The first case is a 45-year-old male medical practitioner who is currently in our isolation center. Is stable and asymptomatic. The third case that we had, which is a 29-year-old pregnant woman with complications at childbirth. Her condition deteriorated yesterday. She was placed on the ventilator, and all efforts to resuscitate her proved futile. Unfortunately, we lost her this morning around 6:58 a.m.
I've also commenced arrest and prosecution of violations of these closures. And those violations include fines and community service.
Governor Nasiru El-Rufai of Kaduna State has recovered from COVID-19 and has tested negative twice to the virus. The governor disclosed this in a series of tweets through his official handle on Wednesday, thanking God for his recovery. Governor El-Rufai also revealed that his family went through trauma during this battle with the virus and lauded them for being supportive as usual. Also, he thanked the Ministry of Health and the Barau Diko Teaching Hospital for their help while acknowledging the leadership qualities of his deputy, Dr. Adiza Balarabe, who has been running the state. He added that and thanked the diligent medical personnel of the Ministry of Health and the Barau Diko Teaching Hospital who managed his case for their dedicated and professional care. The Adamawa state government has confirmed the first case of COVID-19 pandemic in the state. Governor of the state, Amhadu Fitiri, announced this in a state broadcast on Wednesday. According to the governor, the victim is a returning from Kano State. The governor is currently holding an emergency meeting with stakeholders and security agencies and may announce the total lockdown of the state. This comes 14 hours after Kano recovered 14 more COVID-19 infections, bringing to a total 73 confirmed cases in the state. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control confirmed the development through its Twitter handle. Earlier, the state recorded its fourth death from the virus, with more infections discovered. As part of measures in making life more bearable for the people of Ekiti State during the lockdown order by the state. Ekiti State government over the coronavirus disease, Mr. Gilbert Igweka, has distributed stimulus package to less privileged people and vulnerable in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital. Distributing the items from house to house in Ado-Ekiti, Gilbert said through Mr. Tokumbo Olumilua, explained that the effect of current global surge COVID-19 is worrisome, as there is need for them to impact on the lives of the poor in the society. He stated further that they are complementing Governor Kayode Fayemi's effort in giving out to the people during the lockdown order, in a way in putting food to the table of the poor.
I appreciate this for an individual to have a mind of doing such a thing. It's a compliment to the government wish or effort of the government. So if there are thousands and one doing that with us here, it will be a joyful thing and it will help a lot of people. So they are doing it very, very well.
We see what is happening in the world today, the pandemic in the whole nations. So we we deem it fit to look into the affairs of people, to their sovereign and institution in town. That's why we brought out an initiative to touch lives, the less privileged in our environment, to assist them by giving them some food items as relief package to sustain them at least for a while during the lockdown period.
Let's take a break now. When we come back, we bring you stories from outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I greet you in the name of Almighty Allah. We are all aware of the current COVID-19 pandemic and how it is killing people all over the world. One of the major ways to prevent the spread is to observe social distancing. This is to maintain a distance of 5 feet or 1 meter between you and every other person. Therefore, observe your salat at home and stay safe. We must support the effort of Lagos State government as it battles to contain the spread of the disease and protect us and our families from death. Take responsibility. Coronavirus spreads easily from one person to person when people gather together. Stay at home to protect yourself and others. Stay safe. Ma'asalam, Ìgbéga Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe ni.
Welcome back. You're still watching MI TV Primetime News. Moving down to the foreign scene. Romania's president on Wednesday said the country will make wearing masks in public transport and other enclosed public spaces compulsory from May 15, when the lockdown imposed to stop the new coronavirus spread is lifted. Klaus Iohannis said as he appeared on a camera wearing masks, said maybe they will be able to give up wearing masks next year when this pandemic will be under control. Movement restrictions introduced as part of a state of emergency will be lifted. Iohannis added that though mass gatherings remain banned. Romania has reported more than 9,700 cases of the new coronavirus infection so far, with 512 deaths. On April 14, the EU, member of almost 20 million people, extended its nationwide lockdown for another month in a bid to slow the virus's spread. Under the restrictions enforced by the police and the army, citizens are banned from going outside except for work and essential shopping during the day. All of German states have announced plans to make face masks compulsory to combat the spread of coronavirus. Bremen became the final federal region to back the measures, with its Senate set to confirm the decision on Friday. Mask use will be compulsory on public transport throughout Germany, and nearly all states will also make face coverings mandatory when shopping. Chancellor Angela Merkel strongly recommended their use last week when she eased lockdown rules nationwide. Different countries have issued different guidance on the use of face masks. Austria made them compulsory when shopping at the start of this month, but on Wednesday, Switzerland confirmed it would not make its citizens wear masks as it loosened its restrictions. An autopsy in California has revealed that the first U.S. coronavirus-related death came weeks earlier than previously thought. The first previously known death in the U.S. was in Seattle on 26th of February and the first in California on the 4th of March. New information from a Santa Clara County coroner chances that timeline. Autopsies on two people who died on 6th of February and 17th February show they died with COVID-19. Samples from the autopsies were sent to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which confirmed the presence of virus. California's Santa Clara County Coroner's Office said in a statement on Tuesday. The death of third Santa Clara individual on 6th of March has also been confirmed to be coronavirus related. The World Health Organization has warned that smoking can increase one's chances of contracting the coronavirus. In a tweet on its verified handle, the WHO on Wednesday warned that experts have said smokers with COVID-19 are likely to have more serious conditions that could lead to death. The agency tweeted smoking damages the lungs and other parts of the body, and it makes them more vulnerable to COVID-19. It claimed that tobacco lobbyists have tried to manipulate COVID-19 policy, making to get tobacco shops listed as essential and offer free delivery of tobacco products to people in quarantine. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we bring you sports. Stay with us.
Improved household hygiene is essential to keep your family safe. Did you know that the sodium hypochlorite, the active ingredient in hypo bleach, is equipped to fight viruses and germs? Add some bleach to water, soak a clean napkin in diluted bleach and wipe off germs from common contact surfaces. Wipe off with hypo. Disinfect your home with hypo bleach always.
Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Welcome back. Moving down to sport, National League clubs have voted to end the regular season at its current point with promotion and relegation outcomes under careful consideration. The league's board have urged clubs in its 3 divisions to vote in favor of ending the regular season without further games because of coronavirus. The league said there was a clear majority of clubs in favor from the almost 90% of responses returned. Football in the 5th and 6th tiers was suspended on 16th of March. Clubs in the National League, National League North and National League South division that have not yet voted still have an opportunity to do so, the league's board said, but it would not change the outcome. Phil Neville's future on England women's manager is set to be revealed on Thursday after days for the delayed European Championship are confirmed. Neville has been in talks with the Football Association for several weeks. His contract lasts until June 2021, which would have been after the Euros, but they have been postponed to 2022 because of the coronavirus pandemic. The tournament to be held in England was moved because the Tokyo Olympics have been pushed back to next year. Neville, who became manager in January 2018, has faced questions about his future. He led England to a fourth, she believes, cup title in 2019 before a 4th place finish at the World Cup that summer. But since last year's quarter-final win over Norway, the Lionesses have lost 7 of 11 games and failed to retain their, she believes, cup title in March. Roger Federer says now is the time for the men's and women's governing bodies to merge while tennis is in limbo because of the coronavirus. The 20-time Grand Slam champion floated the idea in a series of Twitter posts. He said a measure of the Women's Tennis Association and the Men's Association of Tennis Professionals probably should have happened. Last year, WTA President Mickey Lawler said it should be seriously discussed. American tennis legend Billie Jean King, one of the prime movers behind the founding of the WTA, said a measure has long been his vision for tennis. Just before we end the primetime news tonight, let's take a quick recap of our top stories. Adamawa records in this case of COVID-19. Sanwo-Olu unveils 70-bed isolation treatment center for COVID-19. And on the foreign scene, Germany state make fixed marks compulsory. And on sport, Federer wants ATP and WTA to merge. And that's it on MRTV Primetime News tonight from the news production team. Do have a wonderful night and please stay safe.